All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Everyday Upland. Wow, I have to applaud Dirk. He's out there, he's working hard, he's doing a lot right now for Upland. The metaverse has now gone to Davos, the World Economic Forum. That's a mixed bag of things that make you dive into the rabbit hole, but I'm not really here to talk about the whole mixed bag and the rabbit hole. I'm just here to talk about Upland now being given this wide opportunity to create something great by going to where a lot of influential people, governments, all the wealth of this world gather each year in Switzerland, in Davos, Switzerland, and um, you bringing a game like Upland where us the little people play, and to bring it out there to a wider audience, people who maybe want to invest in Upland, see what Upland's all about. Just take part in this conversation and understand what surfing on Twitter, and then I saw this, and I'm like, I have to share this with you guys because this is incredible. So these are like the top notch people that you want to talk, that you want to introduce this to. These people all have the money, they have the connections, they have everything that you will need, I believe, to grow something like Upland into what we all hoped and dreamed. Okay. Um, Today, a co-worker of mine, this has nothing to do with Davos, but a co-worker of mine, he bought his son one of those um, what is it, Meta, like the Oculus 2 or whatever it is, Meta Quest 2 or something like that. And I was just like, I thought about it for a second, like, whoa, I wonder if Upland would ever be this immersive, especially with the new layers that the developers are working on, right? And us as entrepreneurs, players, various types of people that are within this game can take advantage of these types of technologies that are going to be brought to the metaverse or help along with the metaverse. But let me show you this video real quick of Dirk talking about it. All right, here we go. Oh, sorry guys. Let me rewind that.
Free. We don't want to do the same thing what happened in Web 2, right? Everyone works in this walled garden. We want to stand for interoperability. And so we sit together. We actually, here in Switzerland, we started the OMA 3, which is called Open Metaverse Alliance for Web 3, where over 1,000 companies have signed up for it. We're just in the process of setting everything up because what we want is really what we have as a vision that people can take they're in control of their assets. They can take their identity. They can take their assets from one world to the other. So if you're into the metaverse space, sign up for oma3.org and join us. And it's free.
Yeah, this is great for Upland. This is so awesome. Like, I don't even know how else to really explain what is happening here. This is a good look for the game. Upland is one of those games that, when I first started playing, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. It take a classic board game and made it into this, modern style of digital gaming, online gaming, where it's all about the community and having digital assets. And a lot of us who play this game, including myself, I've never purchased an NFT outside of Upland, and this I believe is like a great start or a great way of giving people some understanding of how one way of how NFTs can work, and also with the developers working on additional things, could just bring the whole Web3 idea into one place. And I believe Upland is that type of game right now that could bring us there, right? So, a lot's happening. There's even more videos of it. I'm trying to get as much more videos as I possibly can, but that's all I've seemed to find right now. But as more comes out, I'll definitely talk about it. Right. So the next topic now is, Upland's open marketplace. Right. So in Upland right now, there are many opportunities for us, the players, to make a decision. Right. There's a new city release that's happening this week, and I believe it's on Thursday. And it will be Buenos Aires, Argentina, um, where we will be able to purchase some new properties, acquire some new properties in the game, and probably flip for some upex or hold. There's this group in Discord called Analytical Assassins. They have some great research. So if you guys are interested, you guys can go check that out. You'll be able to find them in the Discord. I'm gonna try my best to put a link down in the description so you guys can go check them out and get the most up to date, the most accurate research that you'll be able to find on Buenos Aires if you're interested in going and minting properties there. And that's also a great way for you to increase your monthly earnings. Great way for you to maybe build a community, start a node, or get involved in a node. So many opportunities in a new city being released. So that's just the one side of a new city being released. So other players now who maybe have been in the game a little bit longer, more established, happy with what they have, here is an opportunity for you to acquire. You still can acquire additional properties. You can get into nodes. You can get block explorers. You can get almost anything that's already in the game at a reduced price, because what has happened is that a lot of players tend to liquidate a lot of things. Like, so the gnome block explorer has just been released or been given to quite a few players who won some contest that Upland had a couple weeks ago. I didn't really take part, and they're already up for sale. So if you're interested in acquiring one of those block explorers and the prices are not that expensive, you can go ahead and buy a gnome block explorer. So that's just one thing that you can do. You can take this opportunity of bonus areas being open and acquiring strategic property, strategic types of block explorers, whatever it is that you're looking for in the game, right? There's a lot of opportunities as well for you to get into nodes. I've seen prices for nodes that was at like 40, 50,000 last week or like 2 days ago. As it gets closer to the release of a new city, the floor price of that node has now dropped from like 40,000 to 30,000 and from 50,000 to 40,000. So there's another opportunity, guys, where if you have some upics, you can jump in and purchase, get into a node, purchase any of the deals that are out there, as well as you have the MV Motor sale. I really like how Upland is doing the sale right now because they're making a lot of these vehicles available to us players to own. And I think that is awesome. This is how I had hoped they originally had started, but I knew in the beginning they're just going to maximize as much as they can on what they had available. Oh, comment. They need to fix the USD UPEX people selling at like 50%. I know. Well, you see, that's the thing, right? A lot of people are liquidating because remember, a lot of people have been playing this game a lot, like maybe two, almost what, 3 years now. Before I started, I've only been in the game just over a year. And so, like, for example, I saw that Abdullah is selling off a lot of Bronx properties that he paid only like 1,000 upex for. So he's selling off a whole bunch of stuff. People have generated enough upex per month that they're willing to let things go at 50% of the price. Um, the USD to UPIX, this is where people can come in. If you have US dollars in the game, you can come in and scoop up a lot of cheap properties that where the monthly earning, you can gain a lot of UPIX, and then eventually you'll be able to be in that position as well where it's not really much of a big deal if you sell your properties a lot cheaper. But there's many avenues to go about, trying to make the best of what's happening in the game. I know that the game has changed a lot where the secondary market isn't like what it used to be anymore. You see a lot of these 50% sell off. People are only selling everything for 50%. But I believe they're generating enough UPIX that they can do that per month, that it doesn't really affect too much. Um, if you've been in the game long enough, you've generated a lot of UPIX. Like right now, I am actually waiting for the MV motor sale, but I didn't register for this one because the vehicle that I'm looking for isn't available for sale yet. But I'm just holding. Like the secondary market, I don't need to necessarily go to Argentina and buy anything because I believe Dallas and Arlington, after it was released, maybe I would say a couple weeks after, properties were being sold under mint. So I don't need to worry too much about acquiring any new properties when there are many deals out there. I think right now we should more so focus on the deals than how much of a discount people are selling their items for, right? Because it's good to accumulate as much as you can, earn as much as you can per month, and then you'll be in that same position where it doesn't affect you too much to liquidate stuff at half the price, right? So, and I believe that's what they're doing because they've earned enough, they've made enough money from whatever properties they were able to acquire at USD that was really cheap, and the monthly UPEX income was more than enough. After 5 6 months, they were able to say, okay, all right, well, I've made a huge amount of UPEX already just buying this property in USD for cheap. That it's not really a big deal if I sell it at 50%. So that's the thing, right? Like, I believe it's the early people in the game that are mostly benefited from this thing right now. There are some great opportunities long term. I think it's going to be no more than 50% on their mids. So enjoy now. Exactly, right? We don't know like how it was before. I remember the secondary market, like people were making money hand over fist, right? You would mint in a new city, put up on the secondary market, and it was gone instantly. You could double your money. Right now, it's not really happening like that where you can double your money right away after minting a new city. You have to pretty much buy and hold. And hold, I would say, this goes for the nodes as well, between 2 to 4 months, I would say you hold whatever properties that you've minted, because what can happen is that these new cities, a node could be developed depending on where you are and where most of your properties that you purchase. You could end up find yourself being in a node, and you could capitalize on that by putting a property on there and marking it up to 300% and recouping maybe 10, 15, 20% of the money that you put in, and that's just on one property, right? So imagine you happen to find a property, or you minted a new city, you bought, say, 30 properties in the city, and 2, 3 months down the road, a neighborhood that happen to have 10 properties in, or 5 properties in, someone decided to start a node in that city. The node gets quite popular. A lot of people start buying in. You build up, and then you only spend, say, 15,000 upix or so per property, and you have 5 of them, and then those 5 are now worth 50, 60,000, and you can sell 3 out of the 5, and you've recouped a lot of the money that you spent in that new city opening. So the opportunities are there. You just have to be calculated and just really pay attention to the direction that the game is going in. It's not so much like how it was earlier about the secondary market, where you're able to flip and make a lot of upix on the properties that you were lucky enough to first purchase, right? And before, it was all about collections, right? Now, collections, to me, I don't know about you guys, but to me, collections is not really a big deal. It's about just the nodes. You're able to make a lot of money just being a part of a node, and even if you weren't first in on that node, the next time a city is being released, that node from that new city or previous city, you'll be able to get it at a really cheap price. Like right now, like I said earlier, the Bronx, that was one of the proper the cities, I believe, if I can remember correctly, was in the 110, 115,000 or even more for per property. San Francisco was another one where properties were at least 100,000 a piece. Now you can buy something for 29,000, 40,000, where that wasn't possible before. So the opportunities are there, guys. So just take your time, use all the resources. You can use upxland.me, you can use a blend, and just take your time, go through and search to see what you can find. Okay, guys? And when I talk about the as I'm talking about new city releases, their Upland is now working on trying to get into the Asian countries, more European countries, countries like France, Singapore, and other Asian countries. So they're working on the whole language side of things. And once that gets dealt with, Upland will definitely be opening these new cities. So cities like Singapore, I believe, will be highly desirable. Tokyo is going to be highly desirable. Paris, another one that's going to be desirable. So like cities that are highly desirable, those are the cities you want to really just jump on when it comes to mint, because now that's going to introduce another large amount of people into the game, and people are going to want to say, well, if they were late to the party and weren't able to mint anything when those cities first opened, now that Upland is in their country or in their city, they may want to take part, and us, the first movers who were able to mint on these desirable cities, will be able to profit hugely of those influx of people coming in, because they just found out that there's this game called Upland, and it has released a neighborhood that they live in themselves, or a neighborhood that they would like to be a part of, or own property in, or own NFTs. So there's many angles and many ways to go about Upland now. Like I've said in my previous videos, Upland is a marketplace. Okay, that's their focus right now, right? Yeah, as long as Upland is growing and new people are coming, every day Upland is getting better, like cars and manufacturers in the cities. One second. Right, that's what I mean. So that will be there. That stuff is coming. And see, and as you see, Upland is just 900 vehicles are going to be up for sale. Like the Meta Venture, the MV Motors have been pumping out. If you ever so often, you guys go to I think Santa Clara, go check out the MV Motors and see what they have on the lot, and it's a ton of vehicles, right? I can see Upland pushing out vehicles every month. I don't know how much you're going to be doing each month, but this, I think last time it was maybe just over 200. Now it's 900 vehicles are going to be available for us to purchase. So, racing is going to be a big thing. Meta Ventures, other than just selling legits and block explorers, Meta Ventures for transportation type services to move products all throughout the various cities. They did mention about like a Uber type of businesses coming into the game because you're going to have cities that you're unable to access using a train or an airplane. So people who own cars can start up like a Uber type of, I guess that would be considered a meta venture as well. Car shows, um, car showrooms where you can sell your vehicles because there's some players that have already have five, six, seven vehicles before this mass rollout of vehicles. So you guys can register. That is happening very soon. So like I said, there's so many ways to play this, so many opportunities in this game. You just have to be patient. That's one thing I've learned playing this game just over a year now. You really have to be patient because I've seen how the market has changed, how the game has shifted. It's not so much about minting and being the first to mint a new city and getting the collections and just kind of sitting back and collecting UPX on a daily, monthly, or weekly basis. It's more so of being strategic about how you place yourself um, in the game, what you do, whether you're buying new block explorers to resell later because you find one at a deal. Like I see block explorers, like block explorers that are 30,000 UPIX sometimes are being sold for 10,000 UPIX, right? If I wasn't holding off to purchase a vehicle, not in this sale, but in the next um, the next vehicle sale, I would have picked up a really cheap block explorer and could have put it back on the market for 25 to 30,000 easily because that's the going price for it. So there's a lot of deals, and this is a daily thing. This is not like, oh, occasionally you'll see a deal here or there. This is a daily thing where these deals are available. I'm always looking for a deal, even though right now I'm kind of in a holding pattern. I'm holding right now until possibly the next sale. I may even jump in on a node because the price, like I said earlier, dropped less than what it was when I first saw it. So I may put in an offer to the individual who owns a property, build a structure on there, and then that would just be like, yeah, because I know the floor is cheap. The moment I buy in there, the floor is going to be up another 10, 15,000. So yeah, yeah. So guys, it just got to be, you just got to be patient. That's how I see it right now. Be patient in the game. Things are gonna eventually get to where we hope or what we're excited about. The second layer is coming. New cities are coming. More meta ventures. The only thing I can't really say, but I'm hoping that happens a lot sooner than all of those things that I just said, are those new people. And I believe that could come with cities um, within Asia, within other cities in Europe, to bring in even more people that want to take part. And I believe once that happens, that's one of the ways that Upland will take off. Dirk is in Davos. He's spreading the word about Upland. Upland's being talked about, and it's something that we just got to be patient and wait and see what happens. I would say give it until the next Genesis week. I believe there's going to be a lot of announcements coming up. I don't know how accurate or how truthful this is, but anytime you see Upland in anything, like I saw last week is Upland and AEW, which is like a wrestling league, and that league only started in 2019, so it wants to be promoted, it wants to be out there, it probably wants to be a part of the metaverse. I saw the Miles the Llama in the ring, I think wearing like a championship belt. So you never know, guys. A lot of different things are coming to this game, things that we may not have expected, but lots is happening. All right, guys, thank you so much for spending the time with me. If you like the content, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please share my live with all your friends and family or all the people that you know that are in Upland. And if the content's good enough, hopefully they like it and they can subscribe as well. All right, guys, thank you once again, and I'll see you next time. Good night. Oh, hold on. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg wants to in Upland instead of Horizon World and Upland. Hey, if that ever happened, I think that would be a huge game changer for Upland, right? Because like I said earlier in this video, my coworker bought his son one of the, I don't know what it's called, but I know of it as the Oculus Rift or whatever it is, which is owned by Facebook. So imagine layer two, Oculus Rift, and Facebook all in one, and OMA 3, which is all the different metaverses joined into one. It can all work, guys. So you never know what is coming. Dirk is working hard, man. The last AMA he did, he looked exhausted. And I can see why, because he's everywhere. Everywhere there's a meeting that has the metaverse involved, Dirk is there. So Upland has a great future. Do what you need to do right now to whether grow your monthly income, buy, flip, sell, trade, whatever it is to get as much UPX and accumulate as much UPX. Just be patient, take part. Mass adoption is a possibility, especially with the fact that Dirk is at Davos. When I say Davos, just type it in, right? It's all the wealthy people. That's where they go every year for the past, what, I guess the last 10, 15 years. They've been doing this. This is where they talk about climate change and all of these things that you're hearing in the news. This is where all of this stuff is discussed. So, Web3, the metaverse, all of that is all something that is a part of the future. We're going digital. Everything's going to be in this whole metaverse world, whether it's work, whether it's community, whatever it is, that's all a part of it. So, like I say, just the fact that they're at Davos, just be patient. A lot's coming. All right. Wait, Wolf. Sorry, man. You came in at the end, man. I'm about to get out of here. I have to get up for work in the morning, so I'm pretty much getting out of here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See you next time. Good night, y'all.